So here's a strange, funny, sad, or just overall interesting tale that I feel like I need to share. It's like a forewarning, or if not a forewarning, just I learned from the examples that I've been through and my group has been through. So here's the thing. Here's what happens when you put the deck of many things and madness into your D&D campaign with players who are really dedicated role players. It has the potential to end in disaster. So let me explain what happened. My friend has been running a D&D session. It's about 14 sessions long and it's been going on for 9 months. And he implemented a madness feature and a deck of many things in the same session. And that ended the session, it ended the campaign in a TPK. Let's go over how this happened, how this TPK happened. So this is a small party of 4 people. We have me playing a changeling bard who pretends to be a half-elf most of the time, a Goliath paladin, a drow elf monk, and a half-elf druid. And we just returned to the city of Waterdeep because the original campaign, we started off in Waterdeep. And when this campaign ended, we've just been kind of going module to module. And regardless, we returned back to the city of Waterdeep, and this island pops up in just the ocean, and it looks like a weird cube or something. And the DM's trying to guide us that way toward the island. Makes sense. But my character had money. I wanted to go shopping for magic items, so my character goes to buy some magic items. However, the only magic item on sale is a deck of cards. A deck of cards that has been introduced to this campaign earlier, which caused a whole bunch of chaos, which is something I'm going to talk about in another video. But for this, my character was hesitant, but realized its potential and didn't want to put it in other people's power that it could be used for evil. So my character bought it and realized, I'm not going to use this evil deck of cards, the deck of many things, unless my character absolutely needs to, unless people are dying and there's going to be a TPK and I'm going to start pulling cards to get a miracle of something to happen. So I buy the deck and I leave it on my person. Eventually, we stumble upon my submarine, which I acquired through this campaign, and using the submarine, we set sail to the mystical island, the cube or whatever that we're trying to investigate. As we were approaching the island, our druid, Nadine is her name, the half-elf druid, she got controlled by the madness. We all made a con saving throw, and she rolled a natural 1. The DM put her aside and gave her instructions on the madness that she was going through. Whatever it was, she realized she is no longer benefiting from this group. It's better for her to go off alone. And in order for her to go off alone and claim this weird reward or something that she wanted, she had to kill a party member. This druid player is a new player to the game, and they take things really seriously. So the druid polymorphed or shapeshifted into a kraken. Yes, I have a lenient DM who earlier in the campaign we saw a kraken and he lets us transform into a kraken. But she jumps out of the ship and turns into a kraken, and she's like, I have all the money, because for some reason my character entrusted her with all of the money because I wanted to pull her in as a party member. So she's out in a submarine, she jumps out of the submarine, she turns into a kraken, and she's got all the money and all the loot, and she's like, I don't need you guys anymore, and she starts smacking the submarine, trying to get it to sink. Holy cow, a player versus player combat ensues. My character, being a bard, being a kind of a trickster and a shifty and a smart, wise guy, I cast suggestion multiple times until it succeeds, and I suggest that she polymorphs back to normal and goes and sits at the bottom of the ship quietly. So she does that, and we tie her up, or the Goliath paladin was holding her so nothing bad would happen to her. So, yeah, one of our party members is out to kill us at this point. Oh man, this story gets juicier. So we leave the submarine because we got to the island, and we explore the island, and we find nothing aside from, I think it was a crashed ship, and absolutely nothing else. So we're like, This is pointless. Why are we here? So we just go back to the ship and decide to leave the island. However, due to mystical forces of the island, we're not allowed to leave the island, and we keep coming back. And every time the DM is having us roll a d6, and it keeps landing on the same number. And we poke our heads out, exact same island, nothing there, just the crashed ship. Surprisingly, what was supposed to happen was that island is a cube, and when the DM asks us to roll a d6, whatever side it lands on, that's the side of the cube that the island is revealing. Because we were rolling the same number, and that number had nothing really on it, we realized this is stupid. The DM led us to a dead end, and he's not letting us leave the ship. We don't know what to do. So at this point, we're like, let's take a long rest and try to think about things and see what happens and see what the plan is going to be when we wake up, because some of us took damage from the druid turning into a kraken and attacking the ship, and some of us needed spell slots back. So we start taking this long rest, and during the rest, the madness of the island starts to come to some of us, and it lets go of the druid. The druid goes back to normal, but however, the island's madness hits my character, the changeling bard, and my character's goals and ambitions in life was to become normal. His ultimate goal was to actually be a half-elf or a true race, because he didn't like being a changeling. He didn't like having no sense of identity. Ironically, when I rolled on the madness chart, the madness that I got was my character just wants to be normal. And normal to him meant the average look of the party. So as we all come to, my character starts looking at everyone and says, "What is normal? I want to be normal. Are you normal?" And I look at the Goliath and I change into the Goliath. "No, you're normal." And I change into the Drow elf. "No, you're normal." And I change into the half-elf druid. And at this point, I'm freaking out a lot of the party because they did not know that I was a changeling this whole time. Surprise, surprise! And because I take role-playing very seriously, I realize that my character will do anything it costs to become normal. So my character wants to be normal. And he knows that the deck of many things can grant a wish. It's done it before. So in a last-ditch effort, my character pulls out the deck of many things. And suddenly the party realize what it is. And the Goliath Paladin is shouting, he's like, "What are you doing? No, don't pull that." And the druid, who's tied up, starts shouting, "Release me, I have to stop him." However, rolling initiative, I was able to pull a card first. And the card that I pulled was Alignment Change. And I played a very good character who really cares about his party. So suddenly, I'm a character who does not care about my party at all. So that card vanishes into thin air, and as that happens, the druid manages to break out of their binds and chuck a ice knife at me. Counterspelled, and I pull another card. That card I think was called Void, and my soul disappears. My body and my soul disappears, and all I leave behind is my equipment. Suddenly, the party is terrified of what the hell just happened. And as I vanish, the deck is falling, the monk goes, grabs the deck, and draws a card. Her card increases her dexterity score to 22, so good for her. As she draws that, my body returns back to where it was in the submarine and plops down lifeless. The druid, in an effort to save me, and realizes that something on this island is driving us crazy because she snapped back into who she was, she tries to cast Healing Word, but she realizes that that's not working. My soul's not there. Earlier in the campaign, I crafted Rings of Friendship, magic items for all of the party members that when you speak into the ring, you can communicate with everybody else. So she starts speaking into the ring. Bard, where are you?" No answer, aside from the lifeless echo coming from her own voice on my body from the ring. As this is happening, the Goliath reaches for a card as well from the deck of many things. He loses a level. The monk with the paladin is just having a draw fest as the monk draws another card from the deck of many things. It's the one that grants you a level and gives you a magic item, so she got the Amulet of Health that just magically appeared on her body. The druid, looking at my full gray lifeless form, the changeling faceless form, tries to bring me back to life using a druid spell, Reincarnate. And the DM allowed this because he says that Reincarnate transfers the soul into a new body, so wherever my soul is, it's able to return. And I roll on a expanded race Reincarnate chart that we've homebrewed. And I roll on it and I get Tiefling. So my character comes back as a naked purple Tiefling. And my character is very happy. This has been the climax of the entire campaign for my character, who wanted to figure out who he was, wanted a race, wanted to be somebody that's not a changeling. And he was very happy to be a tiefling now, to actually have a race and to be brought back to life. Funny enough that he got tiefling, and tiefling increases charisma, and he's a bard, and it worked out just perfect. But my character comes back to life, and the first words I say is, "This is what I wanted. I'm normal now." And I run and I go to Nadine, the half-elf druid, and I give her a hug. However, at this point, the madness returned to that druid, Nadine, and she makes a 4th level ice knife and stabs me right in the chest, where I instantly go down and start dying because I wasn't expecting that, and the paladin picks me up with Cure Wounds. Suddenly, there's this divide between all of the party members, like, you rezzed me, but now you're killing me, and you just keep pulling cards from the deck. And what the hell are we even doing on this island? At this point, the druid looks at the party and says, "There's nothing here I want anymore. And if I kill you, if I kill any one of you, I could go to where I want to go." And she starts casting spells and going on a mayhem. At this point, my character, counterspell, counterspell, counterspell. I'm trying to control her. The monk just keeps pulling cards from the deck, and she got a card that allows you to change an event in history. And she just pockets that for later, just in case. However, the druid is casting spells, and I'm counterspelling it, and she's like, all right, spells aren't working. She reaches for the deck, and she pulls something from the deck. She pulls Death, and a Grim Reaper-esque spirit appears and tries to attack her and take away her soul. As this is happening, I realize that because my character had an alignment shift and is now evil, I'm like, okay, these people are hindering the mission, and these people are slowing me down, and they're trying to kill me. I need to do something for myself to get myself out of here. The paladin, who's watching the druid fight for her life, decides, I'll just pull another card, and he pulls the one that gives him expertise in persuasion and a random, like, business or castle or keep somewhere in the world, which ended up being Swinging Sword 4. Swinging Sword 4 because this campaign, Waterdeep, has you owning a bar. And our bar was called Swinging Sword, and as the campaign progressed, we just kept opening Swinging Swords. So suddenly there's a 4th Swinging Sword bar somewhere in our universe. But again, here we are, the druid who just saved my life and is trying to kill me is now fighting for her life, who just went crazy and almost tried to kill all of us, while the monk and the paladin are just like, I'll just keep pulling cards until whatever happens, happens. I realize that my character, who's evil now, has to take some sort of action. So I look around thinking, I need to make sure this Nadine character, this druid, funny enough, my girlfriend, I want to kill this character. She is the problem. And I cast suggestion on the paladin, and I tell him that Nadine, the druid, is slowing down our progress, and she's out to kill us. We need to kill her, was my suggestion. And he took it, he bought it, and as Nadine was fighting off this evil spirit, I was hindering her progress with counterspells. And she looked at me, confused, aggressive, And the monk realized that, oh, this bard is out to get us too. However, during this confusion and everyone's looking at each other, the Goliath paladin sneaks up behind the druid, Nadine, snaps her neck, dead. The moment this happens, the monk realizes, oh no, this Goliath and this bard are both trying to kill me. So she goes into an aggressive stance and she starts beating the crap out of the paladin. Me, the bard, realizing, okay, this is my opportunity to get away. I polymorph into a kraken and destroy the submarine, and I split it in half. So suddenly, as the submarine is sinking, the monk and the Goliath are having a one-on-one fight, and I, as the kraken, start doing whips and attacks at the monk because I realize she's the most dangerous threat. The monk, who pulled a card that earlier lets her rewrite history, decides to use that card. And the way she rewrote history is she wished that Goliath and my character never had any combat experience. So suddenly that Goliath paladin became level 1 and my bard became level 1. The way the DM ruled it is because I casted polymorph before she did that, he let me keep concentration on polymorph until it's done. And when it's done, I'm my level 1 bard again against a level 12 monk. This is not very good. But because the Goliath turned into level 1, the monk, punch, bonus action, snap the neck, dead, as revenge for killing the druid. And it was suddenly a 1v1 between my character and the monk. And realizing that she's probably going to beat the crap out of me, I grabbed her and started sinking her to the bottom of the ocean. Yeah, so this campaign is like, we all know it's coming to a close now. We know it's going to be a TPK. We know it's a battle royale now. Someone's going to survive. And I'm pulling her to the bottom of the ocean. She's taking shots at me and I'm attacking her. And she's dropping really low on health. However, she breaks my concentration on polymorph and puts me back to a level 1 tiefling bard with like the bottom of the ocean with nothing left I could really do. And punch, and she got me because I had like 8 health. She punched me, and with that punch, I like a little bop on the head. I exhale and all the breath leaves my body and I take in all the ocean water and my character drowns at the bottom of the ocean. So that monk is the last survivor of this weird battle royale on this weird island, and she starts swimming to the top. And the DM's having her make checks to see how fast she's going to swim out. And we all stopped and we did the calculations to see if she could make it to the top. And it was close. It was a 50-50-ish shot. And she said, I still have the deck. This deck is going to save me. As she's reaching the top, she pulls a card from the deck. Funny enough, she pulls, I don't remember its name, but she pulls the card that suddenly gives her a bunch of wealth. So she's got gems and coins that suddenly appear in her pockets. And as she's reaching the top, all these coins and gems just start pulling her down to the bottom, and she's not able to take that breath of fresh air that she needed. And that monk sank to the bottom of the ocean and died with my bard. That was the end of the campaign. That was the end of a 14 session, about 9-month long campaign. Ended in the weirdest way. It ended because of the deck of many things. It ended because of madness. And it also ended because we're serious role players who, yes, if we need to kill somebody, we'll go and kill our party members because it's fun and no hard feelings. And it was crazy. Suddenly in that session, we all hated each other, beat the crap out of each other. Session ended and we're like, yeah, best friends again. It was funny. It was happy. Now it's a memorable story. And everyone had fun making new characters and we're ready to tackle the next story in the new campaign. So it was just, what? So I'm making this video just because I feel like I want to share this strange and crazy experience that, or just way this campaign ended, of a forewarning of the potential that Madness can have, the deck of many things can have, and players who are really confident or dedicated into their role playing. So to my fellow DMs out there, if you're tired of your campaign, if you're ready to like kill everyone off, or ready for it to end, just throw in the deck of many things. But if you're not, never put that evil deck of cards into your campaign. So with that being said, this has been Tony Sticks, and may you, hang on, and may you think twice before drawing your next card. See, I've been learning this trick. Work in progress.